The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 52. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of BurlyMenGaming on Twitch and Turn-Based Carl. Burly, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm surviving, man. Actually, the weather here is getting a little cooler. It's been raining again today, and it was about, like I said the other day, about 16, 17 degrees here in the evening in Celsius, and light breeze. So really nice and cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Carl, how you doing, man?
Oh, I got a bit less sleep than usual. As I told you, I went to the movies last night. So, came home and just went to bed like immediately after.
Yeah. And what movie was it that you saw?
It was, of course, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. The
Legend of the Ten Rings. that kind of reminds me of like the Lord of the Rings, rings types of movies. Yeah, but
I gotta tell, those 10 rings are cool, man. I really like them.
Cool. All right. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, of course, Horizon Zero Dawn, or not Zero Dawn, but Forbidden West, I should say. That's going to be coming out in February, and all of the news about that this past week. And of course, Sony's going to be having their own event coming up on the 9th, their PlayStation Showcase. And our topic of the show, we're going to be talking about Tokyo Game Show, because Tokyo Game Show is coming up at the end of this month, and whether or not it's really relevant to gamers out in the West, like in the United States and Canada or in Europe, for example. And I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about. There's been some listeners and viewers of our material asking us, why hasn't Xbox been successful in Japan? So I've been living in Japan here for 25 years, so I'm gonna give a little bit of an assessment as to why Xbox hasn't really done well here. Hopefully it's going to be picking up as it has been over the past year, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. And then we're going to be, of course, talking about the new game releases. And Burly has his Burlynator Corner, where he's going to be talking about some of the news from Twitch this past week. So we're going to get into the games that we've been playing right after this message about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, and the post-show will be going to Patreon in early access for one day after recording. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month, and get early access to every episode and post-show, as well as listen ad-free, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. Weekly on Sundays, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services. Weekly on Wednesdays for the post-show, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and on Expat's YouTube channels, Expat 2020 Gaming, and the Arena Citadel. Just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave us questions, and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at the Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at the Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
Okay, guys. This week I was continuing on Psychonauts 2. I'm really loving it. I'm at the casino now. In that part, I think Burly, you're at the casino now as well, right? Still kind of early on in the game, but yeah, it's really fun. You too,
cool
Carl?
One. Yeah, that was a good one. I got through it, but
Oh, you got through it. Okay.
Yeah.
But one other game I decided to actually start to see how it was. I don't know if you guys have played this, but it's called Ghost Runner. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it really reminded me in the beginning when I first started, like Mirror's Edge and Mirror's Edge Catalyst, where you're running around and you're jumping onto buildings, and it has elements of Titanfall in it. It has elements of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in it, where you're just running across walls, and you're basically doing these like time runs. And of course, you have a sword, and you're running across walls, and then you're jumping down and slashing enemies in half. But it's really, really fast paced, and the controls. It takes a lot of getting used to running across the walls. I'm playing on Xbox Series X, but man, oh man, it's the time runs, you can get disoriented pretty easily running across those walls in the very beginning of the game, and you die multiple times because once you're running across the walls and you're trying to jump down, they just shoot you out of the air, the enemies. So you have to figure out ways to dodge as well as run across walls. So it's basically like a Mirror's Edge Catalyst meets a cyberpunk world. So that was my take. I played it for like a couple hours. So that's my experience with it. So what have you guys been playing this past week? Carl, I'll start with you.
Still working on Psychonauts 2.
Mm-hmm.
Still loving that.
Yep.
I'm a little farther than you. You get to go into, there's more of like that open hub area after that. Like you get to go on the outer area, so that's kind of cool. But it's still, of course, about like the interesting levels they're just so fantastic. Yeah. Each one, the next one just has some crazy, wild, imagination going on in there, and it's just, I love it.
Yeah.
But I did take a break. I should have probably put more time into that, but State of Decay 2 Homecoming update is out, and of course I had to play that, and then of course I get hooked on that game. I just went to playing for hours. I don't know. It's just like it has this loop that just like grabs me. This gameplay loop. Like I'm just like I feel like there's always something to do, or like I'm always, if there isn't something, I'm like setting myself a goal, like I'm going to go over there and I'm going to loot all those houses, or I'm going to take out that play card, or I'm going to, try to level up this character, get their skills up for some, whatever you want. Like it just feels good. So anyway, briefly on that, the update, the new map is really good. I like it a lot. They added some extra parts to it, and they added new bases. It's the version in the Heartland DLC isn't like a fully functional, open map.
Yeah.
But the thing that they really did different in this one, and maybe it's a clue as to how things might go in the future, is they added more like contextual story missions where there are characters from the original game, the first game, who are in this area, and they'll be you meet up with them at like a house somewhere, and they ask you to do something, and you go on a little mission with them, and they have a storyline that you follow, and you do a couple missions with them. So like they're having more of that, I think maybe is the direction to go, because with the permadeath, it's hard to have a main storyline. But maybe it's not that they can't figure something out, but I do like that this map is like, there's more to do in this map. So like if you're going to start this game, like do the Trumbull Valley map, because there are more story missions to do. And if that's what if you're looking for some of that, that's great. You got that here.
Cool. Burly, how about you?
I finished up Yoshima Director's Cut Iki Island story. It was a blast to go through that and to hear my full opinions. Go check out the extra take episode.
Yes, it's in early access now, and it will be going tomorrow up to the Expat 2020 Gaming and the Arena Citadel YouTube channels, and in audio format on free podcast services. Yes.
But check out the video format because I recorded actual footage for the game.
Yes. So Burly gave about like an 11 to 12 minute clip of some of Iki Island and some of the things you can do there. So yeah. So what did you think of it, Burly?
I really did enjoy it. I admit Director's Cut was worth it for me, but I am the target demographic for that, because as you know, I love the just base game last year. So and then I've started up Psychonauts 2. I streamed that on Thursday night. Yeah, that was just a blast. Yeah. It
was fun going through the mail room too. It's like trying to figure out how to throw all those boxes, into the outgoing mail and everything. That was pretty fun. Yeah,
fun
as well.
Yeah, the writing is so on point for that game. Like, I came to the original Psychonauts quite late because I didn't play it till like a month and a half ago. But I enjoyed the writing there, and it seems that from what I've played so far, they're keeping up with it, which is great.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back and playing the original now that I played this sequel and I see how good it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you never played the original?
No, just never get around to it,
It's on Game Pass.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did. I had it installed. I was gonna do it. It just never happened.
Yeah. All right. So cool. All right. It's time to get into the weekly news beat now. So Horizon Forbidden West. So forgive me earlier. I said Zero Dawn, but Horizon Forbidden West. Of course, it was delayed till February of next year, but there's a lot of steam out there right now, especially for PlayStation fans that are wanting to, get the PS5 version of this or upgraded version from the PS4. And you see a lot of these memes out there, and you see a lot of people on Twitter, especially fans of both either PlayStation or Xbox. The PlayStation fans are, of course, upset, but then, Xbox people as well, they're saying, well, there's the smart delivery on the Xbox, whereas, on the PlayStation, it's the paid delivery, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read this story by Paul Tassi over at Forbes, because this is an interesting read that Sony, before all of this happened, explicitly said a PS5 Horizon Forbidden West upgrade would be free. So, yeah, it's like, why did PlayStation renege on this? So let me go ahead and read some of this to you. So, Sony baffled fans and critics alike when it announced the pricing for the PS4 and PS5 versions of the Horizon Forbidden West. While the $60 PS4 and $70 PS5 price points are Sony's standard at this point, the confusing part was that there was absolutely no way to upgrade your $60 PS4 version to a PS5 version later. Instead, players are told to buy an $80 deluxe version, which allows dual entitlement. Yeah, so that's a controversial, a couple of words there in itself. Dual entitlement for both the PS4 and PS5 versions of the game. Fans haven't exactly loved Sony's paid upgrade path for other games in the past, but the complete lack of an upgrade path for Horizon Forbidden West is new. But it's not just illogical, it's actually completely contrary to what Sony explicitly said about the game. So, a year ago, last September, Sony published a blog post that remains online to this day. It says the following, quote, "Additionally, we know that the PS4 community will transition to PS5 at different times, and we're happy to announce PS4 versions of some of our exclusives. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and Horizon Forbidden West will also launch on PS4. While these 3 games were designed to take advantage of PS5 and its unique next-gen features like the ultra-high-speed SSD and DualSense controller, PS4 owners will also be able to enjoy these experiences when they launch. The PS4 digital versions of launch games include a free upgrade on both PS5 consoles, while the PS4 disc versions of these games include a free upgrade on the PS5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive. So there is simply no other way to read it. Sony originally said that upgrading your PS4 copy of Horizon Forbidden West to PS5 would be free. But still, if you want to quibble with the wording here, here's Jim Ryan being explicit in a Washington Post interview around the same time when asked about cross-gen titles, Miles Morales and Horizon Forbidden West specifically. Quote, "No one should be disappointed," end quote, Ryan said. Quote, "The PS5 versions of those games are built from the ground up to take advantage of the PS5 feature set. We have an upgrade path for PS4 users to get the PS5 versions for free. It's about people having choice. I'm really quite pleased about the situation," end quote. Well, doesn't seem like there's going to be much choice here. So what do you guys feel about this situation? Burly, I'll start with you.
Yeah. So I'm not happy with the way Sony's doing this, because it's really odd, because we had the way they did it with Ghost of Tsushima, and I didn't like that with the director's cut. But you had, like, you stated earlier, with Marvel Spider-Man and Sackboy, that those came over fine free.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sony should stick to what they originally the blog post posted. I think you should have the free upgrade, but I don't think they'll ever do it, because Sony is stubborn and set in their ways. Let's not mince words.
Okay. Carl, what do you think of this?
Did Miles Morales, that had a free upgrade from PS4 to PS5?
Yep.
But wasn't it more expensive on PS5?
Yes, by $10.
Which is weird, right? Because so I could have bought the cheaper version and then got the free upgrade.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember if it was more money. Because I can't remember, because when I pre-ordered my PS5, I pre-ordered a physical disc for Miles Morales. I cannot remember 100%.
Because I think it was 40 and 50, if I'm remembering correctly, for the PS4 and then PS5 version. Which I think this is, like, obviously what they don't want people to do, right? They don't want people buying the $60 PS4 version of Horizon Forbidden West and then getting the $70 PS5 version, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, they can't really stop you, and there's no way that they're not going to start charging, $70 for the PS4 version.
Yeah,
that would probably be an even bigger controversy than this. But yeah, this is a really, really bad look for them, and I don't know if they will do anything about it, because the only reason why it's possible maybe is that they did say, you have that quote, they absolutely did say that it was going to be free, so they should honor their word on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Burly said, they're stubborn, and they don't care. They don't care what anybody says. They're not gonna, really. There was one example. They changed some policy, right? What was that? Not too long ago, people complained about something, and they actually did it, which is incredibly rare, right? For Sony. And I forgot what it was, but anyway, yeah. I mean, yeah, I cannot believe that there is no upgrade path. Like, I don't like paying extra, right? I wouldn't want to pay the $10 extra.
Yeah.
It sucks. But the fact that you just can't, and the only way to do it is to get the $80 version. So now you're paying at least $20 extra than the original.
Yeah.
I think I would love to be a fly on the wall, like in Sony headquarters in Tokyo, and just and kind of figure out and just listen to what they were talking about as to what their justification was for changing the policy from what this article says, that they said it was going to be a free upgrade and now it's not. I mean, what was their, reasoning for changing this policy?
Money.
Obviously that, but I mean, like, what is it? The PlayStation 5s, we're not going to get so many out as we think we're going to get out. And so we have to make more money some way. So let's change this policy. I mean, yeah.
It's like they just don't care. They really don't care what people think. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at the sales numbers, it doesn't actually matter. There's enough PS5s out there for them to sell the volume that they want. Because if you look at the sales data for like Miles Morales was a good example. It sold more PS5 copies than PS4.
Yeah.
And that's because all the people who are most likely to buy these type of games bought a PS5, right? Like people like us, like people who are really, really into games, like you're going to get that PS5. You're going to go as soon as you can. You're going to work hard and, go online and try to find a way to get one.
Yeah.
And the people who don't have a PS5 right now are probably people who wouldn't buy games at launch anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like me, like I don't have a PS5 yet. I mean, it's because I chose Xbox, but otherwise then, I would be buying this at launch if I was PS5, first. But, like I did with my PS4, like I waited on that because I did Xbox first again that time. And I got Horizon Zero Dawn when I bought my PS4 on a Black Friday special in 2017.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
And I got and I got the system for $200 and I got Horizon for $20. So I made out like a bandit on that one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like last thing is like I'm not buying Horizon Forbidden West now. I was going to buy it for PS4 because I love the first game. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I just won't do it now. I will actually wait. I can wait. There's plenty of games. It's not like I won't have something to play. So,
yeah. Now, how much of a percentage of a chance do you think Sony could actually turn around and renege on this and go back to what they originally promised? Especially because in our next story, the PlayStation Showcase is coming up on September 9th. And I'm wondering if all the negative publicity on this might actually make them change their minds and make some kind of a statement during the showcase. I think it's a very, very small percentage of a possibility, maybe a 20% chance. I don't know, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, at the showcase? I don't know. That's quick. That's quick turnaround.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to want... I don't know if they would publicly, put their tail between their legs. And
so just like a press release or something.
Yeah. It seems more likely. Unless they're really feeling some sort of pressure and they feel like they do need to make an apology to their fans. But I doubt that.
Yeah. Burly, do you concur?
I agree. Yeah, it's like that you've got maybe about a 5 to 10% chance that they'll renege. But here's the thing. They're like, we've got that showcase coming up. We're going to show people some, I won't say what, because we'll get into that topic next. Yeah. They're going to show this and that, and the vast majority of people by that point will have forgotten. And most that are going to be vocal will be like, they'll get some vocal backlash, but as news keeps changing, most will just stop caring and not say anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're in Nintendo land now, where they can get away with pretty much anything at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Well, with that, let's talk about the PS5 PlayStation Showcase. It's going to be on Thursday, September 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. British Standard Time. So Sony is announcing it will hold this on the 9th, and it will start, of course, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. for those of you on the East Coast, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's going to run for about 40 minutes, and what is being teased as a look into the future of PS5. And they said also that there will be no PSVR information or games or anything like that, or like PSVR 2. They're not going to be announcing anything about that.
Good.
Sony says its showcase will include updates from its PlayStation studios and a look at games releasing this holiday and beyond. Yeah. So, Sony could be ready to launch a new PS5 system software update that has been beta testing. The update unlocks M2 SSD support and also includes some UI improvements to the PS5 dashboard and 3D audio support for built-in TV speakers. But aside from that, guys, what do you think they're going to show at this showcase? It's, like I said, it's about 40 minutes long. I think it's probably a good bet we're going to see some God of War 2, maybe some early stuff on, that.
Yeah, I want to see gameplay on that.
Yeah, maybe we'll see some gameplay. And what do you guys think? Carl, what do you think? What do you think we'll see? What do you want to see?
Yeah, like the thing I would really excite me would be Infamous remake. As weird as that, like I'm asking for a remake, but like the first Infamous is a fantastic story.
Yeah,
and the gameplay. I mean, the game was awesome even at the time.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it's a game like if you went back to it, it would feel a bit dated. It needs a glow up for sure.
Yeah,
maybe even some tweaks to the gameplay. I mean, if you want to add stuff too, go ahead. Like, I think that's a game. If you put the money into it, that'll take off, and it'll be another big franchise to them. And it kind of was, but then I don't know. I guess that third game didn't really do it for everyone. But
yeah,
I think we'll probably see some Final Fantasy 16. Let's good bet on that. At least I hope. Because I'm curious about that one. Forspoken seems possible because that's supposed to be next year.
Yeah,
like they're saying it's next year.
Yeah.
I want Last of Us Part 2 like story DLC.
Oh, so yeah.
I would like to see that. I don't know how quickly that happens, if they even plan to, but I'm up for that for sure.
Do you think they could be sitting on a new Uncharted?
I think they're kind of taking a break on that franchise right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe some early, like some just like a title or something that they might throw out there or something. Yeah. Because I don't think Uncharted is dead. I mean, yeah, they might be sitting on it for a while. Yeah, because they got, like you were saying, we're probably going to see something sooner or later on Last of Us Part 2, some like other story content or something like that. But I mean, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get another Uncharted game in this generation, the PS5 generation, and it's going to be. This is just my prediction, but it's going to be Nathan Drake's daughter. We're going to be seeing like another type of Tomb Raider type of situation where she is the protagonist and she's going to take over the franchise. We shall see, but that's just my hope.
I mean, that seems like the logical direction for sure.
Yeah.
Although it's not very original.
Yeah, of course.
Not that it wouldn't be good, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the direction Sony wants to go with that franchise, but you never know. I mean, Naughty Dog, I think are they working on a new IP? I feel like I may have heard that.
They said they are working on a new IP.
Okay.
But we know nothing of it.
Yeah. And probably we're not going to see anything on that yet. So
yeah. Oh, and the running joke I have is that we're going to get Last of Us 2 Director's Cut with the PS5 $10 upgrade charge. I mean, it makes sense. There's no PS5 version for that yet, right? They haven't done any updates. I think they did the 60 FPS, right?
Yeah, just 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Which that game ran like flawlessly on my PS4 base unit anyway, and looked fantastic.
Yeah. Burly, what do you think we'll see?
what I think we'll see, we'll get a couple minutes of Deathloop just because that is coming in a couple days, and Sony's going to want to try and push people and be like, yeah, don't wait a year for Game Pass. Play this now.
Yeah, it's coming on the 14th. Yeah, so
so I think we're going to get a bit of that. I think we'll get a bit of Horizon because it is coming February, even though there's the negative stuff going on right now. Yeah. They're still going to want to push that game.
Yeah.
I think we will get a story trailer for God of War 2. Okay. Whether or not it'll actually have gameplay, I don't know. I don't think we'll get gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We may get a small tease for Spider-Man, just to remind people Insomniac is working on the next Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking that'll be like the little tease at the end or something, right?
Yeah,
like you'll see Venom or something that hints at Venom.
Yeah.
Right. That
Goblin Glider.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Right.
Green
one
Goblin,
of those things. Yeah. A major significant villain for sure would be a good reveal.
Yeah. Stiltman.
Yes, Stiltman.
Yeah,
that classic villain.
Well, if you want serious, you go Lady Stiltman.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there'll be anything new, like totally new IP.
See, that's where I'm kind of like, we'll get something new, but whether or not, like, I have no idea, and I have no idea from who. Like, I think we'll also get a small scissor reel of stuff that has come out this year for PS5 and PS5 in general, just to remind people, like, hey, in case you slept on Returnal or Ratchet and Clank or this or that, I think we'll get a small there.
Because, like, what dev does Sony have that we haven't heard from in a while? We don't really know what they're doing. It's like most of them are working on sequels that we know about.
Yeah. What about the next racing game?
Gran Turismo.
Right?
Gran Turismo. Do you think we'll see anything on Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
We should.
Maybe something really small. Yeah.
It's
supposed to be next year, right? It was delayed out of this year.
Yeah, it was delayed out of this year. It'll be next year. I just don't know how much time they'll spend to it. Please don't spend too much time. Give us a thing and give us a release date.
Maybe just like a few minutes or something. Yeah.
As for stuff, I'm kind of hoping. I wouldn't be surprised because in the very first, I think it was the very first trailer we got for the PS5 showcase thing, we got the whole thing with Grand Theft Auto 5. And if you know the rumors, there's been the rumors of the Grand Theft Auto remasters for 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Oh, yeah. That could be there.
If those things are real, I wouldn't be surprised they announce them at the PS5, this showcase.
Yeah, you make a good point there. Because if you can't forget that they open their like PS5 showcase with, hey, the Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming. I'm like, okay. They didn't show it. So, they'll probably show that. The PS5 version, and also a tease or announce that if that's real.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be happening on the 9th. So we'll next week in the next episode we'll have some a little bit of discussion on what they showed and see if any of our predictions come true or not for that. So next up, let's talk about Tokyo Game Show. So Tokyo Game Show starts on the 30th out here in Japan. And what's interesting is maybe some people don't know this, but it's kind of like Disneyland out here in Japan. Disneyland is not in Tokyo, even though they call it Tokyo Disneyland. And it's in Chiba Prefecture. But most people don't know where Chiba Prefecture is and what Chiba is. So... as well as the Tokyo Game Show, it's actually in Chiba Prefecture. It's really close to Disneyland. Actually, it's in Makuhari at the Makuhari Messe Convention Center, and I've been there many times. And they're going to have a digital event like they did last year because of the Corona, pandemic and all. we're going to be talking about the popularity of Tokyo Game Show and if it's relevant to Western gamers. But first, I want to list off some of the events that are going to be happening at Tokyo Game Show. So the showcase is basically from the 30th through October 3rd. But first up, and forgive me for saying this, but this is all Japan Standard Time. So Japan Standard Time, if you're on the Pacific Coast in the United States, it's 16 hours ahead for you. For East Coasters, 13 hours ahead of these times that I'm going to list off here, Japan Standard Time. So basically, the very opening of the show is going to be at 10 a.m. on Japan Standard Time on the 30th of September, followed by at 12 o'clock, the Gamera Game Now Tokyo Game Show 2021 special. Gamera Game is a Chinese indie game publisher, and so they're going to have some stuff to talk about. And some of the big hitters, of course, Xbox, they're going to have from 6 p.m. on the 30th of Japan Standard Time is going to be their Tokyo Game Show 2021 Xbox live stream. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that in a second, what we think they might possibly talk about. Yeah, I think some of the executives at Xbox are saying that you're not going to see like new games. Basically, it's going to be like updates on, games that have already been announced. But we shall see. At 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time, Konami is going to have information to reveal on Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're going to be seeing some of that. And then as we move down at 10 p.m. Japan Standard Time is the Capcom online program. And they're going to have more information later on down the road. So we're not exactly sure what they're going to be talking about. That will probably be coming out next week. And then on the next day, on the 1st, 505 Games is having a showcase at 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time, followed at 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time by Square Enix Presents. And they're going to give the latest news about upcoming titles at the Square Enix event as well. So those are the main players at Tokyo Game Show. But there's a huge list of like mobile distributors and like mobile developers that are going to be doing some kind of digital event as well. I'm not going to get into all of those, but yeah, so those are the big hitters. So like Square, Capcom, Xbox, and Konami as well. So anyway, first of all, let's talk before we talk about the relevance of Tokyo Game Show to gamers in the West. What do you guys think we're going to see at some of these shows, like Xbox and Square, Konami, Capcom? Burly, what do you think we're going to see at some of these events?
Square, I think it's a given. We'll probably get something on Final Fantasy 16. Mm-hmm. I think you'll also get a little bit on Dragon Quest 12 because they did announce that this year at the Dragon Quest event. Yeah. And it's in Tokyo, and that's where the home market is for it. So I think we'll get a little bit of that and a little bit on the Dragon Quest 3 remake. Mm-hmm. Capcom, probably some other RE8 Village crap they're trying to sell you with that.
Oh no!
I only say crap just because I've had my bad experience with Capcom, and I'm not buying their games anytime soon.
Yes, Burly has previously ranted on this show about Capcom, so yeah.
But Monster Hunter Rise?
Yep.
He's like, yeah, that's not something I'm doing.
Yep, nope. No Monster Hunter, nothing. Okay. But Capcom will do some Monster Hunter there. They'll also probably have something on RE4 Remake because we know that's coming. So,
Carl, what do you think we're going to see from Xbox?
Oh God, I don't expect anything more than maybe like a new port, of a Japanese game that isn't on Xbox, like Persona. You know, like that's probably as big as you could expect from this show as like significant announcements. I'm still waiting for, I guess it'd be a good place to announce, Judgment coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Maybe other Sega related stuff. They have a good relationship, so I could see that. Would be a good place to announce, since Square Enix is there, Final Fantasy 14 coming to the platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that they said was happening, but it's seemingly never happening at this point. It's been a long time, because that announcement of that must have been 2 years ago at least, when they announced that like every Final Fantasy game, right, was coming to Xbox and on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And we just got 13, which may have been the last one on the list, I believe.
I think that was announced back at the 2019 E3 showcase.
Yeah, you guys just got 13 and 13.2 on Game Pass, because I've seen the notifications for that.
Yeah. So 14, they also said was coming, and that's the last holdout. Obviously, it's a lot more to do on that.
Yeah.
But I can't really imagine what else they would be able to pull off like at this show.
I don't think they're going to have like an indie studio acquisition announcement or anything like that either.
So. No. A special edition. How about a special edition Series S, like a Sega themed? That would be really.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or another controller, like a Japanese, like a style controller. I don't know, but.
Yeah, and Capcom and Square, like the usual. I think what Burly said about Square is spot on. Capcom, I could see that's a place where they could, depending on the exclusivity, Monster Hunter Rise like coming to Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
Capcom. There's also Resident Evil Revelations 3, which is in the works, and Resident Evil 4 Remake. So, again, let me see one of those, although those might end up at another show. I mean, maybe we could see one of those, didn't even think about it, at the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah.
So I don't expect much from Capcom.
Yeah, I could see, like, on the Xbox side of things, there might be some, like, Game Pass announcements. Because Game Pass is starting to take off here in Japan. So they might have some kind of announcements about Game Pass, and maybe some titles coming to Game Pass. So.
Yeah, I mean, the cloud service, as far as I remember, wasn't in Japan yet, right?
No, it was in South Korea. So it's
they should announce that now.
Yeah,
it should happen.
Yeah,
they should have been there.
It's coming. So
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the relevance of TGS. So I want to hear from you guys about this, because of course you guys are out in Canada and out in America and Florida and all. So, I mean, as Western gamers, I mean, how do you feel about Tokyo Game Show? I mean, of course, E3 and Gamescom are like the big two, so to speak. And, you got the PAX events and all that stuff. You got a lot of stuff out there in the West. But Tokyo Game Show has always out here been the main game show in Asia. So, I mean, how relevant is it to you guys out there, to Western gamers? What do you think? Burly, what do you think?
Go ahead.
First, go ahead, man.
Over here in Canada, to most people, it's not very relevant. It's only if you're into these, into Japanese-based games. Yeah. Like your turn-based RPGs, some of your action RPGs.
Yeah. Which some of them are not localized.
Yep. And then you still, I still have people that don't know, that are gamers that don't know Capcom is based in Japan.
Yeah.
They think it is like a US company. It's like,
Well, you have the U.S. division, but the parent company's in Japan. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's short for capitalist company.
Yep.
TGS is the most important show of the year. No, it is. Like I think TGS's relevance, is just as much as any other gaming show outside of E3. Like, if you're into this type of thing, you're probably watching all of these major events, or at least paying attention to them, looking for any announcement that might be relevant to your tastes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like E3, I think is really the only show that is like everyone has their eyes on. All the others, Gamescom, like again, it's like you don't necessarily expect huge announcements. So
right,
unless you're like us who cares about all the smaller stuff, like you care about that Monster Rancher 1 and 2 on Switch. Yeah. You're going to be paying attention to. I actually watched the little announcement for that. Finally, they didn't really show that much, which I was surprised.
Yeah,
and man, those visuals are I would describe as warbly.
Yeah,
that old like PS1 era looking visuals, and they're all like kind of shined up, but they still look like they're just a little jittery.
Yeah,
but TGS is. I've always like had an interest in it because I like turn-based RPGs. So it's something that years back they didn't cover it like they do now, and it was covered, but it wasn't like you can watch these events if you want. That wasn't a thing. So
yeah,
if you're interested now, it's a great time for any of these because you can always have access to them wherever you are.
Yeah. Well, as a Westerner looking from the inside, being out here in Japan, I think of it as, what's really hurting TGS and its relevance out in the West is that for the past 8 to 10 years now, the major focus of these shows is mobile gaming development. Because, the console market has dropped dramatically in Japan over the past 5 to 10 years. I mean, yeah, it still sells obviously, but I mean, the mobile market has been growing exponentially out here, as well as in South Korea and of course in China. But that's a whole different story now with the new restrictions. But I mean, so if you walk through the game floor, the showrooms at TGS, 70%. And I've said this before on the show, but 70% of the booths are all mobile development.
Oh, God.
So just think of the coverage that this show gets out here in Asia. It's mostly mobile gaming coverage. Yeah. So, I mean, I think as a Westerner looking at it from the inside of actually being there and going through these showrooms, yeah, you have your Battlefields, the localized Battlefield, you have the Call of Duty, you have all that stuff too. PlayStation has their big, part of the showroom, as well as Nintendo did in the past. Xbox would be a small cubicle in the corner. But with a couple of Japanese staff, basically talking on their cell phones because nobody's around there, unfortunately, looking at their stuff. But yeah, I mean, the mobile market is just is huge out here now, and I can understand if it's not as relevant compared to the other shows out in the West because of the fact that, I mean, not so many people in the West play mobile games as they do out here in Japan. So
yeah, nobody's going to be paying attention to the mobile aspect, I think, digitally, right? Like,
yeah.
At the show, it's a whole different ballgame. I get that.
Yeah.
If I was there, I'd be making a beeline to find that Shining Force mobile kiosk there.
Yes. Yeah, Carl, I knew you were going to say that, man. It's
like where is it? It's got to be here. Give me.
Well, next year, come on out here and we'll have because hopefully I can get a media pass so we can go on a media day. Because I'll tell you right now, man, it's similar to E3 and the Gamescoms when they had the public events. Oh, there's like 20,000 people packed into one of the showrooms. It's just a mess. And I remember taking my son one time, and he was in 5th grade of elementary school when we went, and it was all standing room and just shoulder to shoulder, people bumping into each other on the public day. And it's like my son, once we got back home on the train, he was just completely exhausted, and you have to take probably 2 or 3 2-liter bottles of water with you, because in September out here in Japan, it's still hot and humid. So people waiting outside to get in. And then once you get inside, it's like, just the heat from all the bodies, crammed together. It's just a mess. But media days are not so bad. There's maybe, instead of 20,000 people packed together, there's maybe about 100 people walking around. So maybe next year I can take you, and if you have a chance to come out here, and we'll get a media pass, me, you, and Burly, Carl, and we'll go to the Shining Force booth.
Yeah. Have either of you ever been like into any mobile games?
Well, I played a little bit of Call of Duty Mobile when it came out here. It was man, it was all right. I mean, but other than that, no.
Yeah.
Burly, how about you?
The only one I actually put any real amount of time in was actually Pokemon Go, because I do like walking, and I am a Pokemon fan. Huh. So it just worked out well.
Yeah, the last time I was at TGS, most of the people outside were playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I actually played Marvel Strike Force.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was when I first moved here to Florida, and I didn't have a job when I first moved here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very much like, oh, I'm like, what do I do all day? Well, I mean, I can jump on this every few hours and do my daily shit that I got to do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you got to be on top of stuff. Like, I got to a point when I stopped playing, I actually had to, like, I was in what do you call it, like an alliance, right? Yeah, that's what it was. And you have to do like your raid things, and everybody's got to participate and do their part, or else it's the team could suffer. You might not get the rewards you want.
Yeah.
And we got like a Discord channel, and if you're not doing your stuff, people are messaging each other, telling you, oh, get on there, hit this node, come on, what are you doing? And I got to the point where I was like, I can't dedicate time to this anymore. Like, it's just, it demands way too much of you for you to actually like progress. I mean, like, I played it 100% free, mind you. I guess if I was paying, it would have been a different story. But like, I told these people, I'm like, I gotta stop. Like, I'm gonna quit. Like, after some release of some new character, I'm like, I'm gonna get that character, and and that's it. I'm out. Like, sorry guys. And they were like begging me, like, no, please, can you just come back for this? I'm like, no, man, I gotta stop. Leave me alone.
No, you got to put another 15 hours in this week.
My God, yeah. It's like it's really like work. It's not those type of games.
Yeah, and the microtransactions and everything in some of these mobile games. Oh, it's so addictive.
Yeah, and they just keep getting worse and worse. Like a game like Marvel Strike Force, as watching it progress over time, like the way that they manipulate that market, is awful. Like, they are intentionally trying to make you spend more money and more and more. Like, and to really abuse the people who do spend money. It's disgusting, to be honest. And they start adding more and more features that require you to spend more and more time or money.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. But it was a turn-based, cool. I liked it because it was like a 5-on-5 turn-based team. And you build your team, and they have like the 3 different attacks, and the animations are really awesome. Like, it's a cool game to like look at if you like Marvel characters. Like, they did a good job making all the different versions of the characters, and there's a ton of characters now, and the attacks are all really cool looking.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks, Carl, for that. And with that, with Tokyo Game Show coming up and all, of course, we talked about the Xbox showcase that they're going to have at TGS. But, I just want to take a couple of minutes here to discuss Xbox and, me being out here in Japan for as long as I have. And we've had some people, ask us why is Xbox not done so well in Japan, or why has why is Japanese developers not tended to work with Xbox, so to speak? So I basically want to give a little bit of a history here of why Xbox hasn't done very well here in Japan. And this is something that I was having a conversation with one of my best friends out here in Japan last week. We were discussing, Xbox, and I've known him as long as I've been here, and he's also a big gamer, and he actually bought the original Xbox when it first came out here. The original Xbox came out in 2002. I don't know how old you guys were. Burly, you were just a tad boy at the time, yeah. So
God.
I'm just kidding, man. So
I was screwing up in community college at the time.
So yeah, in 2002, the original Xbox launched here in Japan, but the PlayStation 2 had been out for a while already at that time. And as you probably know, the PlayStation 2, when it first came out here in Japan, that was the time here in Japan where the transition between VHS and DVD was occurring. And so the PlayStation 2 sold like hotcakes, as everybody probably knows, and because of the DVD. But one of the reasons the original Xbox didn't do so well was, one, the controller. I mean, can you imagine the Duke? I mean, most Japanese people have smaller hands, compared to Westerners, and the controller didn't fit in Japanese people's hands very well. That was one thing. The second thing, the main body was too big of the original Xbox, and you think of
beefy system.
Yeah, well, you think of people's houses here in Japan; they're quite small compared to Western, size houses. So it was too big and not easy to put in a Japanese house. And the main body of the box was very heavy of the original Xbox. And most Japanese people, when they go shopping, particularly in urban areas where most people are doing their shopping, they don't use cars. They're using the train, they're walking. And so to carry that lug of a original Xbox, that was quite heavy. So yeah, people didn't like that so much. And one of the other things with the original Xbox, when it came to the DVD, in the media, there was a story that came out that said that the DVD played on an Xbox is scratched.
Oh,
so,
wow.
And a lot of people freaked out about that, and that made people reluctant to buy the original Xbox. Because here in Japan, the media, a lot of people tend to believe in what the media tells them.
Did it even play DVDs?
Yeah, it did.
You had to buy a separate remote to get it to play them. You wouldn't play them. You couldn't use your controller. It was the dumbest thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never used it for that, I know.
Yeah. So in the end, in Japan, the original Xbox only sold 500,000 units. So then we get to the Xbox 360 generation. Yeah. So what they tried to do to make more of a presence here in Japan, do you remember a game called Blue Dragon on the 360 and Lost Odyssey?
Oh, yeah.
Of course I know Lost Odyssey. That's one of my favorites. I mentioned it on my favorite list of RPGs.
Yeah. So, of course, Toriyama Akira, who designed the characters for, Dragon Quest, and Sakaguchi Hironobu, creator of Final Fantasy, were brought in to develop Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey as exclusive RPGs. But what it ran into was the Nintendo Wii. And the Nintendo Wii just blew up here in Japan, of course, with motion controls and all of that. The Xbox 360 did better, but, of course, the Wii, of course, you had the Nintendo and the Wii out here, and, of course, with the PlayStation. So you had kind of this three-front kind of, hitting Xbox on all sides when it came to sales. So
how successful was the GameCube in Japan?
The GameCube as well, yeah. before the Wii. Yeah.
Obviously, Xbox, the original Xbox was going up against that too.
Yeah, that's right. And then we come to the Red Ring of Death for the Xbox 360. And so the Red Ring of Death was a problem out here as well. But one thing about Japanese people are very superstitious, and the letter X in itself is a bad letter. It's a bad term. So when the Red Ring of Death started happening out here, people started saying, let's throw out the bad boxes, because X in Japan generally means bad. So let's just throw out the bad boxes into the trash. So that started gaining a lot of steam as well during the Xbox 360 generation. And then as the Xbox One came along, and with the Xbox 360, of course, you remember the Kinect. We all remember the Kinect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that goes back to the problems that people faced here in Japan in their houses, because with the Kinect, you had to have a nice, allotment of space to be able to, move around and everything to use the Kinect, right? Well, Japanese houses are pretty compact. They didn't have enough room really for the Kinect to do very well. And then, of course, the amount of titles that were coming out just weren't as multiple as they were in the West. And then, of course, when the Xbox One released, almost like a year after the Xbox One released in the West. And so for that generation of players here in Japan, it was almost like they didn't even know that the Xbox One released. And the reason for that was there was no marketing at all here in Japan for the Xbox One. There were no advertisements. There were no commercials. Everything was dominated by PlayStation and Nintendo.
Obviously, they had given up at that point.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's what my friend was saying. It was like Xbox, it was the impression that was given is that they were ignoring Japan. And so,
it seems like they knew, right?
Yeah.
Like they knew this idea of the Xbox One being that thing was huge. By the way, that thing is probably, about the size of the original Xbox, and that Kinect was also a pretty large thing itself, and also there was that external power brick.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that big power brick.
Yeah. So the amount of space you need for the Kinect to work. I mean, they knew off the bat, like, let's not even bother trying to sell this device over there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Xbox One obviously didn't sell well because there were few games coming to Japan. So, like, for example, Monster Hunter World wasn't even available in Japan for the Xbox One. So, I mean, that's
weird. What about today?
It might be now, like, for the
Doesn't make any
series.
sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, the PS4 just dominated ad strategy here. There was no ad strategy for the Xbox. The Kinect announcements were just downright pretty much negative. So no promotions. That's
they need to have a Final Fantasy Kinect dancing game.
Yeah.
Oh God,
that would have sold it. You got Cloud and Tifa, dancing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So those are some of the main reasons why I think the Xbox has not done very well here in Japan, and trust is a big issue among Japanese people and among Japanese companies when it, in its relevancy of doing business with companies and people out in the West. And during the Xbox One generation, the support was terrible. And so a lot of Japanese developers had lost trust in Western and the developers, especially on the Xbox side of things. So, but with Phil Spencer at the head now, and with a new generation of executives at Xbox, hopefully that will change. And it seems to be changing with Game Pass and everything else. We hope that they have some cool announcements and stuff for TGS and beyond. And one last point too, during the Xbox 360 generation, when it came to Halo 4. They actually, out here in Japan, they changed the voice actor for Master Chief.
Okay.
Yeah, which Japanese people were kind of puzzled at that, and it's like, why don't they just change the localization for the subtitles and everything instead of?
Was it a Japanese voice?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's trying.
Yeah, but yeah,
I don't mind that
Yeah.
because I really like the English dub for Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's like I think it would go both ways if it's only one character really. That well, there's a couple other voices in Halo, but
yeah.
The main voice.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and the Torchlight also. The Japanese version of that was supposed to be released on in April of 2011 in Japan, but Microsoft canceled the release on the day of launch because they said it was difficult to localize. Yeah. So just think of what Japanese gamers out here, they would have been waiting to play that game, and then on the day that it was supposed to launch, they don't get it because it's too difficult to localize. We're just not going to do it. So so a lot of people lost trust in Microsoft at that point in time. But like I said, a new generation of executives now, and Phil Spencer's in charge, and he's already made it a point that he really wants to focus more on Japan. And at this moment, the Xbox is the best-selling console in the Asian market in Japan right now. So,
that's cool.
Really, it's outselling the Switch. Wow.
Well, in the Asian market, Xbox is selling the best in Japan right now, Burly. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we shall see. We hope things continue to improve out here. But it's an interesting story of how Xbox has had its failures out here, but hopefully that will be changing. So
the Japanese market, I think, has a specific type of importance to gaming because, especially the console gamers, right? Because we all kind of grew up with NES or SNES or PS1, maybe PS2.
The Genesis,
right?
Yep.
All of those are Japanese consoles, and we all understood, like when we were younger, like that's where the video games come from, right?
Yeah.
At least, maybe as you're getting older now, that's not really true, but that was when I was young, right?
Yeah.
It was video games come from Japan; they don't come from other places. Some of them do, right? But like the ones that I'm like really into are all from Japan. It's like you always want you have that feeling of like. Yeah, you got to have something in Japan, right? But realistically, it actually doesn't mean as much because the market for Japan is not that big.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, I know like the Switch is like surprisingly well. If you look at PS4, I had to look this up, and I'm seeing like they had like 9 million units sold in Japan as of like April 2020. No, I'm sorry. When is that? No, that's probably wrong. Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong date, but this is an April 2020 article. So like that's kind of almost nothing, right? When you think about PS4 sold 120 million maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But the Switch right now has about 20 million units sold in Japan.
Yeah.
Well, like that's the market, right? Like you're saying, mobile. Like mobile is Japan's all about mobile, and that's why Switch has done well. And I'm sure the 3DS and the DS were huge, right?
Yeah.
So like really the point I'm getting at is that like getting into Japan, I think really is more about like getting Japanese developers on your side, right?
Yeah.
Convincing them that this is a place that you should be working. And I think it's weird that it seems to be the case that you need to build that relationship like in the country with the console. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But like, because you would think that these studios in Japan would realize that like the market for Xbox in America is bigger than the market for PlayStation in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So that right there should be enough of a fact to be like, well, we can sell a lot of units of our games there.
Yeah. So, like I said, I hope the situation changes. I don't know. I see it as there's a lot of developers here in Japan and a lot of people that, are very prideful and they want to support their home country's development and home country's consoles. But I think Xbox has an opportunity out here. They really do, especially now that they have, like I was referring to before, the positive nature of, inclusion on all different types of devices, especially with cloud gaming coming now, and the consumer friendly type of market that they're trying to push. So I think, as what we talked about earlier with PlayStation, with like Horizon and these other situations, and, now you have, Game Pass available out here now as well. It could change.
Yeah. I don't, financially speaking, I mean, what is the average person like in Japan? Like, are they buying expensive, like high-end, like gaming consoles like that?
No, it's mostly mobile devices, or like high-end TVs for the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But so
because I can see that the Series S also being a very tiny console, right?
Mm-hmm.
And its price point and also Game Pass being something very attractive to financially, right, to the Japanese market.
Yeah, I think S's are going to probably sell better than the X's out here, because of the fact that it's small and compact and it'll fit, under someone's TV here in Japan. So
yeah, it's the Trojan horse, right? The S, really, because if it does well, then people will want to buy the X. Like if you're if you're really into games and you got a high end TV, you might be like, well, I should just get the better one, right?
Right. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on now. So we're going to get to the Burlynator Corner for this week, and Burly, you have some things to talk about. There was a lot of news pertaining to Twitch and Twitch streamers this past week. So take it away, man.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, on September 1st, a lot of streamers did a walkout on Twitch to get. They were trying to get Twitch's attention, to get Twitch to deal with hate raids. If anyone doesn't know, there's been problems on Twitch where people have been getting hate raids, where people raid into other people's channels, spamming obscenities and hate, and it is a huge problem. And so people staged out a walkout, which I totally understand. But some people, some streamers that didn't do walkouts got targeted by other streamers. I was one of them, but like I did have to, because I did stream on September 1st, and I did have to justify a little to some people, which is like, come on, if people want to stream, let them stream, and for those that do it, that's their only source of income. Don't judge people.
Okay.
But there's been a lot of people are mad with Twitch because Twitch hasn't gotten this easily fixed. And to Twitch's kind of like credit, or just to understanding, it's not as easy as you click a button and everything gets fixed. Twitch needs to be more open and just talking. Like they've sent us little emails for Twitch streamers and creators being like, hey, we are working on this. We're going to try stuff. No, they sent like one email. But
yeah, I saw an email today about some kind of like Twitch, they're supposed to have some type of addition that will help when it comes to the spamming of hate, some kind of like meetup or something like that, online meetup where some of the Twitch staff or whatever will be talking about some type of like add-ons or something like that for your streaming software or something like that.
Yeah, and actually the streaming software I use, Streamlabs, has sent out an email saying like, hey, we understand this is a problem. I haven't looked too in depth on the tools, but they have come out with tools to help combat it, which is great.
Yeah. Did you see there was a really interesting video that pointed out how difficult it is to like block words on Twitch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that, and how you can have, I think, what was it, like 26 or something like that, variations of one word. So, and
it was far more than that. It was like millions or something, or hundreds of thousands or something, because you can because of all the different language characters that look the same as a letter enough, so that like if you want to write a word that's awful, or any word, right?
Yeah,
like if you want to write Xbox, but you can write that with so many different varying language characters that it's almost impossible for you to ever block it.
Yeah, and Twitch. I agree. Twitch needs to get better at that, of making it easier to block all variations, but it's not an easy thing from a technical side, because I do work in technical.
Right,
it is not an easy fix. Like, I've had discussions with streamers, and they're like, well, Twitch has got money, so they should just be able to snap at their fingers, fix it. As like, it's not that they don't have the money for it, it's just this is not an easy problem to fix. I agree. Twitch needs to be more upfront and be like, you know what, this sucks, we are scratching our heads, we're trying. If anyone has any suggestions and wants to help out with the problem, come on aboard. Let's figure this out. Let's work together.
And to an extent, like, I think they need to do significantly more. Obviously, they are doing work and they're trying, but like, you can't. There's that video that I'm talking about with the variation words. I mean, that points out the fact that like you as the Twitch streamer don't really have the tools, the time, or the ability to take care of these things. Yeah. It has to be the platform that's protecting its people, and they should be spending some money on doing this. And if they haven't already been started, that they damn well better be doing it right now. If you want to block something, like let's get, not beat around the bush here, but like the N word, right, is one of the ones that we're seeing everyone using. That's what all these hate raids are. Most of them are, right? Yeah. And you just can't block it, because like I said, those variations, and like they need to. That should be just like a system wide. Like, no, it's blocked always and everywhere. Any way you could ever write it via Twitch's end, on their end, right? Like that word and words like that have no place on there. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, obviously, like what you said, Burly, like, no, you shouldn't be going after the people who were streaming on that day. Like, that's also, you're doing the same thing, right? Like, you're rating them for something else, and but I would say that if you're a major streamer and you have a big audience, you had no business being on there that day.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Burly, also, what was it? Tim the Tatman and some other big streamers have decided to leave Twitch and move over to YouTube, right?
Yeah, they're getting the YouTube money. I can't blame them. But one of the funniest things I always find is all these big streamers, they'll leave Twitch for a couple of years, take that big paycheck. Where do they come back to? Twitch. Ninja did it. And it's like, good on them. If you're getting that stupid, ungodly amount of money coming to you, I'd be doing the same thing. Yeah. But everyone seems to think, like I've heard so many people and seen this so much on Twitter, Twitch is going to die because Tim the Tatman left. I was like, no. I was like, YouTube is not, I have my grudges with the platform, but YouTube is not the be all end all. And the YouTube chat system is similar to Twitch, maybe a little bit better than Twitch's. I have to recheck, but you can still have the same problem with hate raids on the YouTube chat and all that. And then post your people in your chat can post obscenities and shit.
Yeah. I'm wondering because like Ninja's situation was a little bit different in the sense that, Mixer collapsed. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why he came back to Twitch. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go to YouTube after already being on Twitch before he went over to Mixer, but yeah. YouTube is like, it's a different beast. Yeah. I mean, it's like there was another popular streamer. I don't know if you've heard of him, Burly. His name was Harris Heller.
Yep.
He's into like the technical side of things. He decided to leave Twitch as well and move over to YouTube. And one of the reasons why he did that was because he was really successful on YouTube with his technical side of making videos rather than the streaming side. But he just decided, well, I'm going to do my streaming over there as well. So,
yeah, like I get it. Mm-hmm. And I can totally understand that. I'm of the mindset, stick to one platform instead of spreading yourself thin on 5 different platforms. Like, I've had people, why don't you do stuff for YouTube? I was like, A, I don't have the time to do stuff on YouTube because it'll come into Twitch. B, I got my problems with the YouTube and the whole tag system can go suck it. Because but
it's incredibly crowded market. I can totally get it. Like,
oh yeah, it's crowded as hell.
Yeah. Like if going to YouTube makes you have a less crowded market for something on streaming, that makes sense. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think for us, I mean, for the arena, I think it's a perfect situation because we have the 2 YouTube channels, and of course we put our other content on there as well. And I make, some game preview videos on there as well as this podcast goes up to it. But, for like live events and things like that, we can do the streaming like on Twitch and others. But, so I think there's kind of a use for all of the different platforms and mediums. So, yeah.
Well, Facebook gaming.
Yeah. Facebook gaming. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I need to update for all
the multi-streaming.
Know.
Yeah. Wait, didn't someone go to Facebook gaming? That was like a while ago, right?
Oh, there's been other streamers that have taken pay cuts to go to Facebook gaming and all these other frickin' platforms. This is why I laugh. Yeah. It's just because you get those people, but every one of them, like the ones that go to Twitch, like go to YouTube streaming, and then you get other people to be like, "Oh, I'll be a big streamer on YouTube because YouTube will help me." And it's like, unless you're in the top percent of YouTube ain't going to give you support. You're going to get the automated bots and all that crap. I've actually had issues on Twitch and actually had Twitch help me back. It took a while at different times, but I have at least gotten support from Twitch.
Okay. Which
I can't say when I've had issues on YouTube, I never heard nothing back.
Okay. So with that, guys, let's jump into the new game releases for this week, for the week of September 6th through the 12th. So, let's go ahead and run them on down. So I'll go ahead and start with the first one. This one comes out on September 7th. It's called Dream Cycle, and it comes out for PC. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of this for you. Trapped in a cursed alternative dimension, arcane apprentice Morgan Carter faces an epic quest to save both her soul and the shattered dreamlands. Use stealth, spells, and weapons to defeat enemies and purge the corruption while exploring thousands of shards of this ever-expanding action-adventure. So it comes out on PC on September 7th. So that's the first game. Okay, so Burly, what's next?
Alrighty, we got next coming Tuesday, September 7th, Sonic Colors Ultimate. It's coming to PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. They're re-releasing Sonic Colors from the Wii to the modern consoles, but you're getting a new modes with Tails and a new Wisp, the Ghost Wisp.
Yeah.
I figure instead of rereading the thing, because it's Sonic colors. It is a great game.
Yep. All right, Carl, what's next?
Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch. It's a PlayStation China Hero Project selected game, which I don't know what that means.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, right? Take a glimpse of the original story in the arcade-style combat in an interconnected Metroidvania game map combining Oriental City view and gorgeous diesel punk aesthetics. Wow. Yeah, this is a PlayStation 4, 5, September 7th. It says confirmed for PC, but there's no date. So
okay. Next up on the list, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. So it's coming to PC and PS5. So, Blood Hunt is a thrilling, free-to-play battle royale game set in the Vampire the Masquerade universe. Use your supernatural powers, weapons, and wit to dominate the night and restore the masquerade. So, yeah, it comes out on the 7th. Okay. Burly, what's next?
We got next is Crown Trek, coming Tuesday, September 4th. Or Tuesday, September 7th. Ugh. Coming to PC, man. PS4, Switch, Xbox One. I had a small stroke there, apparently. Enter a labyrinth that moves as you move, where mastering the elements is key to defeating enemies and uncover the mysteries of this underground world, with a new experience awaiting every time you enter the dungeon. Let the power bestowed by the crown guide you in this challenging adventure.
Awesome. Carl, what's next?
Oh, Bus Simulator 21.
Yay!
Look forward to Bus Simulator 21.
We're all going to play that, right?
Yeah. The most comprehensive and advanced fleet in the history of the series. An impressive number of officially licensed and faithfully modeled buses from renowned manufacturers like Alexander Dennis are waiting to tackle the everyday demands of public transport.
Awesome.
September 7th, that's PC, PS4, Xbox One.
Okay. Next up on the list, Struggling. Comes out on PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One on September 8th. Struggling is a physics-based co-op platformer with a twisted spin on teamwork. Control the arms of a squishy abomination and lead it through a deranged world. This comes out on the 8th. Burly, what's next?
We got coming to Thursday, September 9th, Toy Soldiers HD. Re-enlist with Toy Soldiers HD and experience the award-winning hit updated for a whole new generation, coming for PC, PS4, Switch, Xbox One.
All right. Cool. Carl, what's next?
We have Hindsight 2020, Wrath of the Rakshasa.
Okay.
This character on this art looks like a Lego man. Okay, I think maybe they might get sued on this one. It's a third-person action-adventure game with morality decisions from BioWare and Sucker Punch veterans. Really? Wow. Discover the power of your morality with choices and actions that truly matter. September 9th, Mac, PC, PS4. And
all right.
Wait, any more? Oh, yeah. Switch, Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to click more. They didn't want to hide those.
I see. Next up on the list, Blood Rain Betrayal, Fresh Bites. Comes out on September 9th for PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and the Series X and S. Original developer Way Forward has upgraded its 2011 classic 2D hack-and-slash platformer with high-resolution visuals, modern features, and all-new voice acting performed by original Blood Rain cast members Laura Bailey, Rain, and Troy Baker as Kagan. So, yeah, Laura Bailey and Troy Baker, they're pretty much the voice actor and actress of every game that's available. So, Blood Rain Betrayal, Fresh Bites distills the best parts of the Blood Rain series into a bloody, twitchy, action-packed 2D hack-and-slash adventure through 15 challenging stages. The Brimstone Society has summoned Rain for one last mission to lead a group of soldiers into a giant underground castle to battle against none other than her own father, Kagan. When the soldiers prove ineffective against Kagan's supernatural menaces, it's up to Rain to run, jump, cut, and feed her way through gruesome foes, deadly traps, tricky platforming sections, and horrifying bosses. It's Rain's last job. Will she clean house or find herself 6 feet under? Yeah. So September 9th. So yeah, I mean, Laura Bailey, she's awesome. She's amazing. And Troy Baker as well. But it's like, it seems like they're in almost every single game that comes out, voice acting. Yeah. Or Nolan North,
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. What's up next, Burly?
The Artful Escape, coming Thursday, September 9th, coming to PC, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series. The Artful Escape of France Vendetti is a video game about great expectations, famous folk singers, lingering shadows, space gods, hallucinogens, individuality, reptile shops, and wild imaginations.
Hallucinogens.
It's an action adventure.
I was about to say spiritual opium.
We almost made an episode where one of us didn't mention it.
I know. It's like it almost happened, but yeah. So.
And that's a Game Pass
action adventure exploration. Oh, it is Game Pass. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's action adventure exploration narrative driven musical laser light battle kind of game, and is the debut release of Beethoven and Dinosaur.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up is Ultra Age. Ultra Age follows the story of a young warrior named Age. Okay. Who embarks on a mission to save mankind from extinction, who must use his blades to cut through robotic and mutant foes, explore futuristic locales, and unravel a vast conspiracy concerning the fate of the planet. And that is PlayStation 4 and Switch, September 9th.
Okay.
Now, Expat is would that be pronounced differently in Japan? Maybe it's Age or something.
No, it would be in katakana. It would be Age.
It just would be Age.
Yeah. Age.
I thought maybe they were,
Age, is a body part, which I won't get into.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
At least it would sound like a name. Well, at least to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Age.
Yeah. So next up on the list, Boulder Dash Deluxe comes out on September 9th for PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Built as a reincarnation of the classic Boulder Dash from 1984, Boulder Dash Deluxe is a collection of the series' best games and levels, remastered and reinvigorated for modern consoles and PC platforms. Explore the refreshed world of Boulder Dash with the game's influential protagonist, Rockford, and dive headfirst into a myriad of new and exciting challenges. So I'm going to leave it as that. So it comes out on September 9th. What's up next, Burly?
We got The Tourist, but instead of an I, we've got a Y. Coming Thursday, September 9th. Coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One. Surprisingly not Xbox Series. You're arriving at the Monument Islands. Want to go swimming or rather take a dive in the deep sea? Or do you want to visit the amusement arcade? Do some shopping, dance at the beach party, fancy some surfing? Or will you talk with the strange old tourist and listen to what he has to say about these ancient, mysterious monuments?
Okay. All right. Wasn't The Tourist on Game Pass? I think it was. At some point. I don't remember. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But yeah. Either that or Games with Gold. I think it was. I don't remember. But anyway. Carl, what's next? Carl?
I'm sorry.
He's muted.
I muted myself because, the baby was around here.
Okay. What's up next? After The Tourist,
Esplagaluda 2? Beautiful and colorful.
Esplagaluda 2.
Yeah. Beautiful and colorful graphics mixed with popular characters. The sequel will once again guide you to the exciting and fascinating fantasy world. What? Come on, with this description, what is it, man? Besides Egia, other popular characters such as Asagi and Ciceri are joining in the fun. Choose your favorite girl as your player character. Developers have added more play modes. All right, come on. Like, they don't even tell you. Okay, I gotta look at the like buzzwords to figure out what this game is. This is action shoot 'em up.
Okay.
Okay. Lord, it's on Switch.
Okay. All right. Next up, From Earth to Heaven. So it comes out on September 10th for Xbox One and PC. In this game, you follow the protagonist who initially fell from heaven back into the sky. Many obstacles, cliffs, and small environmental puzzles are waiting. Are you ready for a beautiful, surreal adventure? So yeah, it comes out on the 10th. Hey, Burly, what's next?
What's next is Life is Strange True Colors, coming Friday, September 10th. Yeah. Coming to PC, PS4, Switch, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and maybe your smart fridge later down the year. Alex Chen hides her curse, the psychic power of empathy. Yeah, that is a curse. Empathy is a curse, everyone. Yep. The ability to absorb and manipulate the strong emotions of others. When her brother dies in a so-called accident, Alex must embrace her powers to find the truth and reveal secrets long buried. And for once, the game is coming out, not having to wait every couple of weeks for another part to release. It's all coming out all at once.
Right. It's a one full game. Yes. Yeah. Cool. Are any of you going to play that? I'm playing it day one.
No, I've never played any of those.
Oh, really? You never played any of the Life is Strange games? Oh.
No. I mean, they look like Telltale games, right?
A little bit different than Telltale, but same premise, I guess you could say. But
yeah, I tried a couple of the Telltales, and eventually I was like, I feel like this isn't really that great. Like, I'm not really doing that much here.
Yeah, the artwork is in the games. The art settings are a little different, because the Life is Strange games are set like in a Seattle style kind of location, close to the ocean. So
I mean, those are definitely like interactive stories.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not really what I play video games for.
Okay. Yeah. Burly, how about you? Are you going to play Life is Strange?
Yeah, I'll play it not day one, but I will eventually pick it up. I did like the first game, but when I bought the first game, I got it when it was really, really cheap. Mm-hmm. It was interesting to me, but it was just like, I didn't want to buy a game, wait freaking 4 weeks, get the next episode, and wait. Yeah.
So since this isn't episodic, I think this is going to be a good, good strategy for them to do it and just put it all in one full game. It might sell really well too. We'll see. Okay, Burly, what's up next? Or actually, Carl, it's your turn. What's up next?
NBA 2K22.
Oh goodness!
It puts the entire basketball universe in your hands.
Yep, that's all we have to say.
Yeah. Wait, no. This one's play now in real NBA and WNBA environments against authentic teams and players. Very important.
Yeah.
Nah, it's cool that they have WNBA now. I don't know if I think they started that like the previous year, but maybe these, like, if you like basketball, these games are always good. This comes out September 10th, and it's on PC, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox. Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to next week, man. You know what next week is, right? Burly, you probably don't care so much, you up there in Canada, but Carl, I think you know what I'm talking about.
The NFL starts?
That's right. Next Thursday, man. Yep.
I have not been.
Go Niners. We've got some good odds to make the Super Bowl again this year, hopefully. Yeah, we shall see. Yeah. Love my 49ers, man. Yeah, I'm a San Francisco born and raised native, and 49ers and San Francisco Giants. Yeah, Giants they just fell out of first place actually to the Dodgers. But then again, they'll probably make the playoffs too. So we shall see. But anyway, excited for that.
I'm a Jets fan, and that's.
Hey, you got your quarterback now, though. Hey.
Yeah, I haven't paid any attention to preseason, so I don't know how he looks.
Who does?
Yeah, Hey, I used to when I was really into it. I used to, but
but it's the preseason's where you keep your fingers crossed and you're just praying that nobody gets, like a season-ending ACL or something like that.
Yeah, but here where I am here in Florida, I get to watch Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. I can watch a winning team.
Yeah. Thanks to Brady. Yeah, thanks to Brady. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, next up on the list, Lost in Random comes out on September 10th for PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Welcome to the world of Random, a dark kingdom where every citizen's future is determined by the roll of a dice. Will you be defeated by your fate or embrace chaos and learn to make it work in your favor? Embark on a journey with I guess that's how you pronounce that name, Even. Even, and her sidekick Dicey to play the odds and break the curse of random. So it comes out on the 10th. So Burly, what's up next?
We got next is Tales of Arise, coming Friday, September 10th. It's coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series. Mm-hmm. It's the next line game in the Tales series. I'm not going to read the big blurb for this one.
Yeah.
If you know what you're getting with the Tales games.
Yeah.
It's a very action RPG. Cannot wait for this one.
Yeah. I think you're playing that one day one, right? Yeah.
Well, when my copy comes in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a Best Buy gift card, so it paid for it. So I just have to wait for Best Buy to ship it. So.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Carl, what's next?
A Day Without Me. It's an intriguing adventure game with a high emphasis on puzzles, combines adventure, horror, and drama elements. We can leave it at that.
Okay.
It is on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Unless you want me to describe the story, but
That's all right. Yeah.
And that is September 10th.
Cool. Next up on the list, WarioWare. Get it together for the Switch. Of course, it's a Switch exclusive. Take on over 200 quick and quirky micro games, lightning fast mini games filled with frantic fun, solo or with a friend. When his latest harebrained business scheme goes awry, Wario must use his signature style and smell to fix it. How? By playing a twisted collection micro games, of course. From assembling a robot to pulling out a statue's armpit hair, the Wario Get It Together game is a comedic, cooperative micro game mashup. So it comes out on the 10th. So for Switch. Okay. And Burly, what's up next? I think this is the final one for this week. Yep.
The Rewinder. It's coming out on Friday, September 10th. Coming to Mac, PC, and Switch. A man went missing within this shadowed village. Rumor that it has a mysterious long-haired female was seen near the lake, calling passengers' names. A tattooist master was hired to find her, but returned empty-handed. The once lively village soon fell into ruins. Now there's no one left with a shattered heart. She remains wait in solitude. It seems that all these myths and tragedies are related to the village past. The release date was expected to be... Oh. I was going to say, because the last thing was like, the release date was expected to show later this year. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's also only PC right now. The other ones are just confirmed.
Right.
Oh.
So PC on the 10th, I think, yeah.
Burly, it's Taoist, not a tattooist.
Okay.
Those are very, very, very different things.
That spiritual opium's starting to kick in, eh, Burly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When she
it's got a nice pixel art style, though. I guess.
Yeah, the pixel art's good.
I think this week, the two biggest games are going to be Tales of Arise, especially, the RPG, the JRPG side of things. And Life is Strange, True Colors. I think those are going to be the two biggest games this week. That one game, what is it? That's on Game Pass. The Artful Escape. That could be a big one as well, I think.
Yeah, I know that's one that a lot of people have been talking about, but there's a lot of decent titles this week. Like Sonic Colors. I know some people are interested in that. Fist is a PS5 exclusive, so there's that. Well, PS4 also, I believe. But that Vampire Blood Hunt thing. I mean, when I saw that, they showed that off. What was it, Gamescom maybe? And I'm like, oh, that's Redfall, but you're the vampires instead of
right.
I don't think that's exactly what Redfall is going to be, but that's the idea I got.
Right.
And what else was there? That's Lost in Random, I think, actually, that will be possibly a really successful or at least highly reviewed game.
Right.
Unless reviews are out already, and I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm curious, actually, because that's one of those like sort of indie-ish, like platformy type of artsy game that should do well.
Yeah. Burly, what do you think for this week?
NBA is gonna let's not mix words. NBA here is the game that's gonna make the most money. We all laugh and chuckle at it, but
true.
Those games make so much money because people are sheep.
Oh, those 2K games, man. Yeah. Especially the 2K basketball is in the US too, right, Carl? 2K
for sure.
Big. Yeah.
I mean, I used to play 2K games with my brother.
Yeah, me too.
They are great. Like if you like basketball, functionally they're amazing.
Yep.
As of recent years, they have really gross microtransactions.
Yeah.
So that part, like I actually played the first one on, I believe it was Xbox One, maybe. It was like 2K14.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit into the My Player thing, but I very quickly realized that like this system is designed around this point system.
Mm-hmm.
You earn these points and you can get them through microtransactions also. And it's really, really like a mobile game, like slows you down, your progress down, hardcore.
Yeah.
To earn them just with the game without spending money is painful.
Yeah.
Like I was going on an app. There was an app you could go on and you could like do some things and get some extra points. I was like, I cannot like spend extra time on this. It's garbage. I hated it so much. And it drives me insane that like that type of mode, that player building mode, there is no difference between like your players like cash, like for him to buy, let's say gear, you would think like, right, like a player has money if he wants to buy himself new shoes,
Yeah.
Versus like the points to spend on your experience and skills.
Yeah.
Like it's all the same pool of money. And I'm like, this is garbage. This should be like an RPG. Like I should be getting different types of like, money and experience to put on different things, but it's all just lumped into one garbage pile because it's again, like microtransaction bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I had a guy, sorry, I have to say this.
Okay.
The guy I worked with was like addicted to, I think it was maybe Madden, right?
Yeah.
Like he played Madden so much. And he once told me that he spent like $300 something on it in like a month. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Are you insane?
$300 a month?
Yeah, like at least in 1 month or at some point. And I was like, are you like, what? I'm like, first of all, I have the same job as you. You can afford that?
He was on spiritual opium, man. Jesus.
But he also like smoked cigarettes and played lotto. So,
Okay. Yeah.
He likes to burn money on a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Japanese salarymen out here. It's called takarakuji. It's the the lottery ticket thing. They have booths out here, like in the big cities. There's like a lot of booths where you can buy lottery tickets and stuff, and you got to see a lot of men out there buying lottery tickets. And yeah, it's crazy, man. Okay, let's move on here. Burly. So PlayStation announced their PS Plus games for the month of September. And what are they?
Ready for your PS5 exclusive, you get the Overcooked All You Can Eat, which combines Overcooked 1, 2, and all the DLC content. So that was a nice little giving us that for a PS5 game of the month. For the 2 PS4 games, you got Hitman 2, which I remember wasn't it when Hitman 2 first came out, they gave you the first mission free to try and sell you the game. So it's nice now I can actually play the actual whole game and not just the first mission. See if I can actually try and kill Sean B. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is the one with him, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not sure.
And then the last one is Predator Hunting Grounds.
Yeah. Which one was it? The first Hitman that had Gary Busey as like one of the targets? I think it was Gary Busey, right? Hitman 1. The first Hitman game, or was it 2?
I don't know anything about those games.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in one of them though, and you had to take him out. Yeah. So yeah, it's like this is never going to happen. But just think, October's PS Plus game for PS4. Or no, PS5, I should say. Horizon Zero Dawn. Could you just imagine the? Yeah.
But that's already on the. Is it on the? What do you call it? What was that called? PS Plus Collection.
Yeah, PS Plus Collection. Yeah, it is on there. Yeah. There. And to your thing, Gary Busey was in the first Hitman game.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought,
of the new trilogy. His character was known as Gary Cole. Couldn't even change the first name.
Yeah.
It's funny. This is the first time I've thought of PS Plus Collection, like since it was basically announced.
Yeah.
And it is what I had thought of at the time. Like they were never going to add anything to it. It seems like it was just like a one-off. Like, let's give people a bonus incentive to jump into PS5.
Okay, so now it's time for our questions and comments section. So you can, of course, write into us and give us some questions and comments. You can do it on our Podbean website, as well as on our Discord server, which our 2 comments came from on the Arena Podcast Discord server, where you can join and talk to members of the community and talk about the podcast, as well as all these games that we've been talking about on the show. So this first comment is for you, Carl.
Ooh.
It's from Tuil. I think you know Tuil. He's a community member. He says, "Are you into Disgaea games? I was shocked that you have no clue what Prinny Presents NIS Classics Volume 1 is. I'm not sure if I'm getting it since I don't use the Switch a lot anymore, but Phantom Brave is one of my most played PS2 games. This is the first time Soul Nomad is getting a port, and because of it, SN is always going to PC. I have Phantom Brave PC."
Yeah, Disgaea is one of those franchises that I don't know. I guess I missed it from the beginning. And then, of course, there's like, I don't know. I think there's like 6 mainline games. Maybe that's the one is that 6th one even out yet?
I don't know.
I think there's 5 main lines and 6 isn't out yet.
6? Oh no, it looks like it came out.
No.
Yeah, but and then it is turn-based tactical like strategy RPG. I should be into it, but I feel like it was always the setting of it that in the style, the art style that just didn't really speak to me. So I just never got into them. Yeah. If you want to recommend me like one that maybe I should definitely play, maybe I could get around to it one day. I'm always into trying more of those games, of course. I don't really love the like. I think it's like, what is it, like a demon school or something? If I'm thinking correctly on this one. That's the thing. Like why Persona like never really grabbed me. Also, is that like sort of Japanese, very Japanese school aesthetic. Like I don't know. It's just not really what I want. Not that I won't ever play something like that.
Okay. And Tuil also made a comment for me, and it was about last week's episode when we were listing off the new game releases about Cookie Clicker. So he said, I haven't played Cookie Clicker, but whenever I hear Clicker, I think idle game. And Cookie Clicker is an idle game. I treat those games as background noise. One of the better ones that was released a few years ago is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It is on all consoles, PC, and mobile. So I want to thank you, Tuil, for that, as well as everybody that's listening. You can always comment and join our podcast server, the Arena Podcast, on Discord. And you can, of course, put questions and comments on the episodes that we do here, as well as on our website on thearenapodcast.podbean.com. You can give us questions and comments there as well. So thank you so much, Tuil, and everybody. So yeah, keep bringing those comments and questions about our episodes. So yeah, we want to hear those from you. So also, I have some announcements to make about the podcast. So as well as our audio shows. Just wanted to let all of you listeners know about our other two series. The Arena Extra Take, actually episode 6 is in early access now, that Burly and I did on the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Iki Island expansion, and the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena, which are now also in audio format, as well as in video format. So you can already get these two shows in video format 2 days in early access by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/thearena_podcast. After early access, the Arena Extra Take will go to both the Expat 2020 Gaming and the Arena Citadel YouTube channels, and the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena will go to the Arena Citadel YouTube channel. Now, both series after early access will also be uploaded in audio format for your listening enjoyment to free podcast services on iOS, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. And you can check out the Podbean websites for the Arena Extra Take at thearenaextratake.podbean.com and the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena at marvelousmarvel.podbean.com. So we want to thank all of you listeners out there once again for your continued support, and we look forward to bringing you all more exciting content, and are especially excited for these two awesome series that are now also in audio as well as in video format for your enjoyment. So we wanted to let you know about those. So before we conclude the episode, I want to let everyone know where you can find me on social media. You can find my general content creator site at expat2020.live and my YouTube channel for gaming content at youtube.com/expat2020gaming, and the podcast channel for gaming, entertainment, and pop culture at youtube.com/thearena citadel. My other social media links to Twitter, Instagram, the Arena Podcast Discord server, and the podcast website are at Linktree at linktr.ee/expat2020. And I'm also a live streamer and a Twitch affiliate on twitch.tv/expat2020, where I do occasional gaming live streams, and I'm on our new Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/thearena_podcast, where we do special event live streams and gaming news reactions for the podcast. Finally, over on Patreon, we have a special supplemental series for the podcast that we just talked about called the Arena Extra Take. The focus is on spoiler and spoiler-free gaming reviews. So the one on the Iki Island expansion was a spoiler-free review. With special guests that go up to Patreon in early access for patrons at patreon.com/thearena_podcast for 2 days, then is uploaded to Expat 2020 Gaming and the Arena Citadel YouTube channels, as well as to free podcast services. So please visit our Patreon site for further details on how you can become a patron and support the show and all the content we deliver. So that does it for me. Burly, where can people find you on social media, man?
You can find me on Twitter at BurlyMenGaming. You can also find me on Twitch, as I'm a streamer on Twitch, at twitch.tv/BurlyMenGaming. And I do have a little sub goal, because in Twitch right now they're doing September, so subs cost 20% less, and the creator still gets the same amount. So if I get, I think I'm at 13 out of 30. If I get 17 more, I'll be doing Metroid Dread when that comes out in October.
Awesome. Cool. And Carl, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, just on Twitter at Turn-Based Carl.
Okay, awesome.
That's it. Doing my thing there.
And I'm probably going to start playing Life is Strange, True Colors towards, I think, the end of the week when it comes out. I might start playing that. I don't know if I'm going to stream it yet or not, but I might. So if I do stream it, I'll probably stream like the first couple of hours of it so people can see what it looks like. And all. Playing that and more Psychonauts 2 as well. So
what's the update on Yakuza Ishin, right? Is that what it was?
still gotta get it, man. Don't worry, I haven't forgot you, Carl. I'm gonna do that at some point.
No progress. All right.
Yeah, no progress yet. Sorry, man. Yeah, it'll come, believe me. So I'll get it done at some point. So. All right. So to end the show, our indie recording artist spotlight. This week's spotlight is on Rocco Vargas. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Vincent Rocco Vargas is an entrepreneur, actor, writer, and producer. Stepping into the music space as a recording artist, Rocco has built a textured and layered sound that blends together outlaw-style Americana and rock and roll to produce a cinematic sound. From his album titled In the Mirror, and the song is called Keys. This has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 52. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of BurlyMenGaming on Twitch, and Turn-Based Carl. We hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.
I've been losing lots of keys lately. I don't know what that means, but maybe I'd be better off with things that can't be locked. I'm breaking out of boxes, I'm taking off these chains. Don't need your expectations. No, I'm building my own name. Don't lock me up. Don't lock me up. I've got so much more to give. Don't lock me up. Am I not enough for you to see me? Giving people the authority to say who I am and how I got to be this way. Don't lock me up, don't lock me up. I've got so much more to give. Don't lock me up. Am I not enough for you to see me? I'm breaking out of your mold. Key to my success has always been me. Invested in myself, and now I'm free. Been kicking down the door. They all will make believe. Yeah, they all will make believe. Don't lock me up. Don't lock me up. I've got so much more to give. Don't lock me up. Am I not enough for you to see me?